Okay, sure. So let's begin. So firstly, we went over the background of Amazon and talked about how they began with an idea of selling books online and how they've just grown from there. So that a very brief introduction of Amazon. Can you hear me? I'm sorry, I'm getting some background noise.
We can hear you.
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay, cool. So Amazon, it started off, it's an e-commerce organization, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, and they have made millions and millions in revenue and have only grown since their beginning. It took them some time to make a profit, but now they're growing very well. The question over here was about international growth. So if you could scroll down to the graph, it's the next page, Junior. Yeah, the page after that, sorry. Yes, okay. So we talked about they are present in many countries and they need to consider the risk of the usual risks of the local environment, the local market, the payables, the language, etc., etc. However, as you can see on the graph, since COVID-19, the light pink is international. Since COVID-19, they have made a 57% growth since COVID. So COVID has practically helped this company gain millions and billions. And you can see that the international growth is even higher than their North America, their actual origin growth. So this shows that Amazon does have the ability and skills to go abroad and maybe open up in a newer country because of their growth over here and how they're able to actually manage their international growth as a whole. The financial analysis of Amazon is shows that they have their revenue, I'm sorry, their cash in operating activities have increased by almost double. Their investing activities have gone into a negative. However, their revenue has balanced it out. So their securities also it decreased. So basically their cash from operating activities increased, however, other two have decreased due to their investments and they haven't gotten their revenues or returns yet. Then we talk about the income statement where they have seen a 38% growth in North America in 2019, and in 2020 they saw a 40% growth, which is both positive considering that COVID-19 was really affecting the world. Their operating income has increased by double considering their growth. However, their profits are able to balance it out and actually allows them to pay back their debts, which we'll get onto in the later part. Based on the balance sheet, their assets have increased by over 100 million and their liabilities have also increased. However, what balances it out is the fact that their equities have also increased by a similar rate. And their debts, again, they have increased by a few millions, going from 23 million in 2019 to almost 31 million in 2020. So when we talk about the assets versus liabilities, like I said before, both increased at a very almost similar rate of 42% being assets and 43% being liabilities. However, their stockholders' equity grew by 50%. So it shows that their growth is going on a positive note, even though their liabilities have increased. Their ability to pay back debt, like I said before, their borrowings and all were about 740 million and another 338 million. However, they have the ability to pay it back considering their drastic growth in the previous quarter. And their ability to pay back a dividend. When we talk about Amazon, they do not actually pay dividends. Companies like Amazon, they reinvest their profits back into their company. So they haven't really paid off, they don't pay dividends to their shareholders. And another thing is that they did make an acquisition in 2017 for Whole Foods. However, aside from that, they haven't acquired very many companies. So as a whole, you can see that they don't need to they don't pay dividends out. They have the ability to pay back debt because of their increasing revenues and assets and shareholders' equity. And as a whole, for them to go international is a possibility, and there's a possibility of success because of their previous experience with going international and its growth, its positive growth. Sorry.
So I have a question. Like you said, they are doing good in COVID. So what do you think? Like if it's when the COVID will finish, like everything will be normal, will they still do good?
I believe that since COVID, people have gotten so used to doing online shopping that it will stay the same. Maybe it might decrease by a small percentage because people have the ability to go out. However, I don't think it's going to decrease by a huge percentage because people are so dependent on this online thing now because it's so convenient.
I have a question for you. When you have the international stats there,
Yes.
is that including everywhere outside of the United States? That's just not including the Southeast Asia market, correct?
Yes, it includes everything because they haven't specified anything for the Southeast Asia market. However, if you can see that internationally they're doing well, it shows that they have the ability to actually do well in the Southeast Asia market too, because of their experience.
Okay.
I can be wrong. Like yesterday, I was reading an article that they are not doing good in China. So I believe if they are not doing good in China, so it means they are not good. They are not doing good in half of the Asia. Like, is it like this?
China hasn't been doing good I'm sorry, Amazon hasn't been doing
Yeah,
good
yeah.
in China for years because of the competitors, but they have been doing pretty well in other countries like
India.
Singapore and India and other countries. China,
Yeah,
they were
China's not good.
they
China's
were
not good. A lot of companies are actually
Alibaba.
emerging out of China.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
exactly
I
the international companies in China don't tend to last because of the already existing Chinese companies.
I think they are doing like in Asia. They are the best. They have results are in India, right?
I'm
Yeah.
not sure about that, but I
That's
believe
where
they're doing
HR would come in at. We would be able to give you
Okay,
all
okay,
those
okay,
figures.
okay.
okay, but they are doing really well in Singapore too, just to add that in because of their Prime thing that they introduced recently.